Okay, hello, liquid folk. We are live once again. We are actually going live on two platforms today, on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, which is new and terrifying. We hope it all goes well. Thank you very much for those of you who sent questions in ahead of time. We've had quite a few come through again, so that's great to see. Thank you for you guys getting involved. We'll just give ourselves a minute here just for things to warm up a little bit. Let a few people arrive, and then we'll get cracking. I know I said this in the last video, but I don't know if anyone else has noticed. It's still continuing to get warmer. I know, seasons do tend to do that as they change, but it has been quite nice. Last night was one of the first nights in ages where I was actually able to have a window and a door open without it being completely freezing in the house. So yeah, things are changing. It's a bonus. Hello, those of you that are here already. Hope everyone's doing all right. Got the Friday feeling. I definitely have. End of the week's not come a moment too soon. If you see me doing a little bit of this, it's because for the first time ever, I've got two cameras on me today. So you'll have to forgive my less than Hollywood presentation skills. But yeah, I'll do the best I can for you. I'm not sure which one to look at. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. Okie dokie. I am going to start kicking things off now. We've, like I say, thank you for those of you who already sent some questions in ahead of time. We've had quite a few from you guys, which is always great to see. So as I've mentioned, just before I get into answering your questions, we are actually live on YouTube and Facebook today for the first time ever. We are actually kicking off our Liquid YouTube channel. We've got one or two things that we're sort of filming ready for that for you guys. It's going to be filled with all the sort of usual sorts of things, the kind of things you could expect to find in the blog section of our website. We're going to have sort of how-tos about the products and sort of flavor reviews and things like that. And there's also going to be a little bit of opportunity for you guys to potentially suggest some ideas in the future as well. So if there's anything in particular you think you'd like to see on the YouTube channel, or you've got any ideas for any cool videos or anything you'd like me to review or talk about, or perhaps talk you through in like a how-to, then please do get in touch with us on the social media channels. Leave us a comment, let us know the kinds of things you'd like to see. We've got some plans obviously already, but we'd love to know what you guys would like to be seeing, so we can make sure we're giving you the kind of content that you like. So please do bear that in mind. And if you do get a chance, head over to YouTube, and obviously this video will be there, and very soon there will be some other great content coming that way as well. That's our YouTube channel. Next month is April, so that's, obviously I know we're still in the start of March really, but blink and you miss it these days, as I'm sure most of you can agree with. But yeah, we've got Vaping coming up next month, which is obviously a big event in the vaping calendar. If you guys are doing anything particular to sort of celebrate Vaping, or with it being a vapors month, then please do again come on down, check out our socials and things like that. We will probably be running one or two little mini campaigns here and there on the website. So, come down and have a look at that. But yes, okay. Just one thing I would like to bring up before I actually get into your personal questions is we know that some of you have been experiencing a couple of issues with payment, we believe, on the website. First things first, if you have been experiencing any issues like that, I'd just like to sincerely apologise. The best thing we can suggest at this time is that you please try and use PayPal as an alternate payment method. If that's not something that's practical for you, then please do just bear with us. A lot of banks have recently updated their security systems, and unfortunately our e-commerce platform is not quite in sync with that yet, and we are working with our developers in the background to make sure that everything can get back to normal for all of your usual payment methods just as soon as possible. But if you are experiencing any issues with your normal card method, please try PayPal as an alternative if you can, and that should be working absolutely fine for you, so please just bear that in mind. Okie dokie. Without further ado, I will get to your questions. Forgive me if I'm doing a bit of looking down again. I've got the questions here in front of me on another device. I've never been surrounded by so much technology. Okie dokie. So Kaushik Rana, he's asked, not a question, but he finally managed to order some Aspire coils today. Whoop whoop. Congratulations, Kaushik. Enjoy those coils, man. Janet Milner. Why can't you do more shortfill flavours, preferably blackcurrant and licorice? Well, we at the moment, as you know, the shortfill range is kind of limited compared to the 10 ml range that we offer. We're always willing to convert one of our sort of 10 ml flavours up to a shortfill variant, but obviously we need to know that the popularity is going to be there in order for us to sort of invest time and effort into doing that. Keep your eyes on the horizon. The ranges will continue to change and develop over time. Just stick with us. I can't promise that you're going to get a blackcurrant and licorice shortfill anytime soon, but you never know. So just watch this space, and there's going to be loads of new and interesting things coming out throughout the year. Okay, we've got another gentleman here asking about delivery to Northern Ireland. Again, sincere apologies to anyone from NI that is still unable to have their liquid product shipped to them. It's something we're still just working on in the background. There's a lot of logistical and technical stuff that needs to be sorted out in the background, and it's not been the easiest thing for us. But we are working really, really hard on that. We want to get normal service restored just as soon as we possibly can. So please do bear with us, Marcin, and anyone else who's been having a similar issue. We've got Brendan Thomas is also asking about the number of shortfill flavours that we've got there compared to how many normal 10 ml flavours we have. Well, as I've just said, again, it really does come down to popularity and what we think you guys are actually going to want to get out there and buy. If we suddenly start getting loads and loads and loads of requests for one of our existing flavours to become a shortfill, then we'll absolutely listen to that and we will make it happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So again, please bear with us. A lot of the reason that the flavours are menthol and ice, just to follow up on the rest of your question there, is just because those ones have been particularly popular requests for a shortfill variant. So we try and give you guys what you want, and if we see a massive demand for something, we try and put it out there. If the demand isn't there, then as you can understand, as a business, we have to try and be practical and sensible, especially because we've got so many flavours in the range, which you guys, it's part of the reason why people love us, and we want to keep that as it is. But in order to keep that range so big, we have to make some practical decisions here and there, which I hope kind of makes things up. Maybe doing limited edition shortfills would be worth doing, test popularity. That's not actually a bad idea, Brendan. Yeah, no, that's a good idea actually. I will put that to our technical team and see if that's something we could potentially look into introducing. Yeah, and just noticed you were there, Brendan. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'll just pop up to the top of these you guys that are actually here live with me and they're asking you questions. Lee Giffin, where is everyone? Oh, they're coming, Lee. They're coming. Philip Bradwell, hi, Phil. Hey, what happened to the citrus ice trial? The citrus ice trial? Yes. Well, those flavours we are still totting up feedback. Would you believe we've still got the trial ongoing and we're doing a few little revisions to things in the background. So that is coming. Just bear with us. Here we go. Can you explain why to get the discount for eventual workers every time we order, we have to go through the whole proof system again? Unfortunately, Trevor, that's just the way the system's set up. There's not a huge amount we can do to kind of streamline that anymore, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. In order for us to still have that and make that discount available for people like yourself, we do require you to just go through the proof process each time. If there's anything we can do in the future to make that a bit more streamlined for you, we will always look into that. But right now, that is just the way the system is. I can only apologise for the inconvenience of it, but we do hope that the discount makes it worthwhile for you. Okie dokie. Let me just try and keep on top of everything. All righty. So let me have a little look at some of the other questions that you guys had sent through. Okay, Lawrence Matthews, he's actually asked an environmental question, which is a good question. With your newfound environmental awareness, are you planning to stop selling pod vapes like the Liquid Air and perhaps move into rebuildable mod types instead? Now, it's a very, very fair point. Thankfully, we do like to think the Liquid Air isn't quite as bad as some pod systems you can get out there. Obviously, everybody around here is going to be aware of the disposables craze that's sweeping the nation. That's obviously one of the worst kind of things in terms of vaping and environment that we've seen in a while, because the entire thing, including the battery, It's non-biodegradable. It's a lithium-ion battery that's generally, I think we all know, are reasonably cheaply made. And the whole thing has to be thrown away, including the internal parts that have come into contact with the nicotine-containing residue of the e-liquid. So there's lots of different environmental issues associated with disposables. At least with the liquid air, you are just having to dispose of the pod. The battery is something you keep for a longer term. We appreciate, and I'm going to hold my hands up, we're not going to be hypocritical here. It's a work in progress, and making the vaping industry more sustainable is very much a work in progress. There are still a lot of companies out there that don't really do very much or don't really seem to care very much. We genuinely do care. That's why, as you've said, this the newfound environmental awareness. We've actually been working on a lot of this stuff for years in the background. We've just decided to finally formalize it in the form of our CSR policy, which you can check out on the website. And we're trying to introduce more green and sort of ecologically minded actions across our operations. As you guys know, we've switched over to the 100% recycled PCR bottles, which was a big thing that we did quite a while ago, actually. Obviously, that's had some knock-on effects. I know a lot of you guys have been having issues with the toughness of the bottles and the squeezing, which, as I've explained in the past, is down to that slight variation in material between batches. And as I've also said in the past, we are trying to work with our suppliers to make sure that the batches we get are much more consistent and much more in line with the sort of squeezability you used to, because I know some of the bottles recently have been stiff. We've taken that on board, and we are genuinely working really hard to try and rectify that in the background. It's a little bit difficult when you're working with a recycled material, but of course we're trying to strike a balance between giving you guys a product that's practical and that you enjoy, and also trying to uphold these environmental values that we really want to start championing now, and try and set a little bit of an example in the industry for how we can all do a little bit better. If for a bit of peace of mind, Lawrence, if it helps, while we haven't got plans to stop selling things like the liquid air just yet, at the end of the day, we are a business, and we need to sell products in order to keep giving you things you'd like to see. But yeah, it's we've done a lot of different things around the site. We have loads of different recycling options now. We're bundling cardboard, waste plastics. We've got metal disposable stuff all set up all throughout the business. Like, we're recycling more things than we've ever recycled before. We've got special drainage and chemical waste treatment things set up, so everything's being dealt with in a nice, safe way. Anything that can't be recycled is being burned in order to generate more electricity. So we're trying to put energy back into the system as much as we possibly can at every stage, and we're also trying to be as ecological as we can at every stage. It's quite difficult in this industry because obviously nicotine is a chemical that's recognized as quite harmful to the environment if it's allowed to leak out, so we have to be very careful about what we do. Also, in terms of hardware, obviously, for those of you who, some of you may be aware, some of you may not, you have to dispose of electronics in accordance with WEEE, so it's waste electronics. It's basically a set of very stringent rules. As you can imagine, batteries, electronics, things like that, you have to dispose of them in a certain way in order to make sure it's safe. Now, we've got obviously specialist contractors and things like that that we use here on site to help us dispose of all of our waste electronics in an environmentally responsible way. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to roll out more things and try to look for new ways to be ecological with everything we do. We're already looking at reducing packaging and, just trying to streamline things even more. We've got loads of things set up on the factory floor, so that runs more efficiently. There's really loads of environmental stuff that we're doing. And, we wholeheartedly accept that it's a work in progress. But we just want you guys to know that, we're not just saying these things to it's not just virtue signaling. We are genuinely trying to make a bit of a difference here and trying to sort of steer this industry in the right direction as best we can. But yeah, no, thank you for the question, Lawrence. It's actually really good to see someone actually asking about the environmental stuff, because let's face it, it's something we all should care about. I'll just have a look at some of these other questions that have popped up here. Another question from Brendan. If I might, will Shortfill bottle opener tool? Okay. So the Shortfill bottle opener tool. In fact, was that also you, Brendan? Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, the Shortfill bottle opener tool, Brendan. I have actually looked into this for you. Firstly, I'd actually like to point out to thank you for letting us know that was still live on site. That's now been removed. You were absolutely correct. It's not been in stock for a while, and we don't actually currently have any plans to bring it back just yet. We introduced it because a lot of you guys were, expressing a difficulties in opening the Shortfill bottles and things like that, there is actually a little technique you can use with the Shortfill bottle with a cap. If you actually have a look on our social media and look back at the videos we've posted in the past, I did actually do a how-to for how you can actually open that like with and without the tool. But yeah, to like have a look at that if it helps. But yeah, unfortunately, the tool is not coming back anytime soon. We have now taken it off the website after you've given us that little tip off. So thank you for that, Brendan. Cheers, man. So yeah, it's not coming back anytime soon, I'm afraid. But yes, let's have a little look. Joseph Kafola, when will you start shipping out to Northern Ireland again? Like I say, I am not in a position to give you a concrete date on that yet. I really, really wish I could be more concrete, but I can't. We're working on a lot of things in the background. Our teams here are going crazy trying to get all of our usual international services set back up again. It's been a real slog. It's been really difficult, and there's been a lot of hoops that are having to be jumped through in order to get things set up properly. The nature of what we ship, and the people we work with to do so, there's just a lot of things that need to be married up to make that work properly, because at the end of the day, we don't just want to rush and introduce a service that's just going to disappoint you every time. We need to make sure it's airtight so that when we do start shipping out to these places again, you guys are getting the level of service that you deserve. So yeah, please just bear with us on the Northern Ireland front and for the rest of our international customers as well. I can only apologise for the disruption to service. We are doing our best. Lawrence, maybe a 10 more. Hi, Lawrence. Maybe a 10 more bottle return scheme can recycle the bottles. Well, interestingly enough, Lawrence, this is something that I've actually been talking about within the business more recently, and we are actually looking into the logistics of this. I cannot and will not promise that anything's going to be set up 100% at this stage, but it is something we're actually looking into. Is there more we can do to help you guys recycle the vape waste that you generate as you use our products? So we are going to have a look into it for and there's a few other things we're looking at in relation to that as well, to try and help you guys out and help you with the recycling aspect of your vape waste and things like that. So again, just please bear with us. It's something we are taking seriously, but again, the nature of this industry being what it is, we have to be very careful and make sure we're doing things in the right way. So rushing doesn't really get us anywhere. But yeah, Lawrence, great to see someone really like getting involved on the environmental side of things here. Really appreciate the suggestions, bud. And yeah, please do bear with us and watch this space, because you're going to see more. If you want to see us be more ecological, you're going to see it. So please do stick with us. Phil Brownsword, great name. When will the last of the dodgy bottles be gone? Had a batch of new black cap bottles which were fine, then the next order came as the older white cap. But yeah, so Phil, yeah, totally appreciate that comment, man. And yeah, like really do apologize for the sort of the mixing and matching of the batches you've been seeing. If you, as we sort of said with the black cap introduction comms that we've sort of been putting out across our various channels, the caps, we are phasing out the white caps and phasing in the black caps. As you can see, the ones with the black caps are a newer batch, and you've already started to see an improvement in that bottle squeeze. That's something we want to try and keep going. We know you guys have been having a lot of issues. Lots of you have been having issues with the toughness of the bottles and struggling to squeeze them. And there's even a few of our team members here on site have had the same issue. It's not something we're ignoring. It's just a case of we've got to phase out the stock we've got. As again, we don't want to be wasting stuff that would kind of go against all of the ecological stuff I've just been talking about. So we are phasing it out. The reason you've seen some black caps come through and some white caps come through after that is because the stock you've requested simply must have just had some white caps remaining down in the warehouse, so they fulfilled the order with what we had left, rather than switching it all out for something new and us having a load of waste to deal with. So please just bear with us while things are being phased out and changing over, and you should start to see a marked improvement in all of that moving forward. Again, I know I sound like a broken record. You've just got to bear with us, and just we are going to sort everything out for you. Hard to squeeze the dodgy ones. I know that some of them have been really, really tough, and I really do apologise for it. It's not great, and we know it. But yeah, no, thanks for sticking with us, Phil. And yeah, the one thing I will promise is that things will get better. We are working on it. Just pull up some of your. Andrew Johnson, hi, just joined. Any news on new flavours? I can't say anything for definite just yet. And you'd be like, oh, here he goes again with his nothing definite. But I can't say anything for definite just yet. But I know for a fact that Flavour Development are working on some new things as we speak. Might be Nick salts, might be normal. Don't want to give too much away, but there's some interesting things going on. I've been involved in a couple of little flavour trials behind the scenes here more recently as well, which is good. It's been a little while. We've been focusing on some other things. Obviously, you guys know that there's been some stocking issues which we've been trying to resolve for you and are still working on resolving for you in some cases. But some trials have been kicking off again, and there's some nice, interesting flavour work going on in the background. So just bear with us, and there should be some nice, interesting things coming your way soon. Okay, let's have a look here. Sarah Lewis, when is the next giveaway? I remember you from last time, Sarah. I request that only I can see it though. Now, you see, that wouldn't really be very fair, would it, Sarah? as much as I would love to be able to do that for you, in the interest of sporting and competition, I feel like that probably won't happen. However, there will be some more giveaways coming in the future. You're just gonna have to bear with us and try and act fast. Like, I know you will be on the ball, Sarah. You'll be keeping your eye out for those because you were hankering after one of those last time. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. It will be your turn next time, I'm sure. Steve Reynolds has asked, can we have some news on the missing lines in the high VG range? Still waiting to restock of 6 milligram mango ice and citrus ice 6 milligram flavors, been ages now. I know, I know it's been a while, and I do sincerely apologize. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, bit of a sneeze almost coming then. that's how you know it's live. Oh, excuse me. Yes. I really do apologise for the lines that are still out of stock, especially if there's a few of you out there, and those of you who are watching, or any of you pick this video up later, that are disappointed by that. I just take it on the chin. I know it's disappointing. It's I'm really sorry that we still haven't quite got everything back. What I can say now, though, with a bit more confidence, is that we have a full plan in place. We are working really hard to replenish starting with our most popular lines, working all the way down to our least popular ones. We've got a full replen plan in place, and we are working through that now in production. The warehouse just on the other side of these walls is absolutely wearing its head off, and they're working round the clock to get everything topped back up so we can get things back to normal soon, which I'm sure you can all agree would be nice. And I'm definitely with you on that. It would be great for me to come on here and all of you guys just be talking about how nice the flavors you've been buying are rather than where they are. But I completely understand why you want to know, and I completely accept that it's not great that we've got so many things out of stock, but it's being worked on, and in the near future you should see things turn around quite significantly. We've just got to keep cracking on, and as I say, the guys are working really hard to make that happen for you, so please do bear with us, and normal service should be resumed very soon with all your normal flavors that you enjoy. There we go. Chris Davis would really love a 1 milligram per mil liquid from Outer Lung Vaping. I'm assuming by 1 milligram per mil, you mean in sort of 10%, 1 mil, 10 meg even, as we sort of might say off the cuff. Again, we haven't got any plans to introduce that strength to the core range yet. Obviously, we do a 6, we do a 12. But in terms of a 10, we don't really have one just yet. And it's, to be honest with you, as some of you might be aware, that's kind of more of Nick Salt territory. I know that back in the day, there were quite a lot of e-liquid brands that sort of did lots of odd little strengths in between what sort of became quite, most brands, as you'll probably agree, became quite defined in the sort of 0, 3, 6, 12, 18. And then your Nick Salts, you seem to get 10s and 20s. It's very possible that we'll introduce a 10 to our Nick Salts range. It's more likely to appear on the Nick Salts range than it is on our standard core stuff. In fact, I'd almost say we're probably not going to get a 10 milligram unless we see a really hyped up demand for it. We're probably not going to get a 10 milligram on the core range, but Nick Salts, quite possibly. Keep checking back there and you might find the product that you're looking for. Any chance you'll start selling CVD? Kelly Rowland. Ooh, getting celebrities watching. But yeah, so Kelly, any chance we'll start selling CBD? No, I'm afraid CBD is not on our horizon anytime soon. It's something that we sort of dabbled with a little bit in the past, as you guys might be aware, but it's something that hasn't really quite worked out for us. And it's not something we didn't see a lot of interest in it from you guys. And we'd really just like to prefer focusing on the e-liquids that, that's our bread and butter. Those are the products that you guys love, and that's what we do best. So we'd really rather just stick to what we do best, because then you guys are just getting products that of the quality that you deserve. So no CBD, I'm afraid. That's not going to be coming anytime soon. As interesting as it might be, we're just going to stick to the stuff that we're best at. Trevor Smith. Trevor, yeah, we've already seen you. You've popped up here. Thank you for coming. With all the price rises around the world, is Liquid still keeping their prices a quid? I'm pleased to say that the rest of the world be damned. Yes, it's still going to be a quid. It's Onepoundeliquid for a reason. We've got absolutely no plans to change that. Your 10ml bottles are always going to be a quid. We ain't going to change that. Like that's our promise to you. Unless something super, super, super dramatic happens in the global economy and we end up in a Russia type situation, which is highly unlikely, hopefully at this stage, you're not going to see it go above a quid. So no, you can bank on that. Don't worry. It's still going to be one bottle, £1. Jenny Miles. I don't like the new black bottles, and they're impossible to open and squeeze. Yeah, again, Jenny, like I've reiterated for the other guys that have been having this problem, I'm really, really sorry for the toughness of bottles. It's something that we are starting to see phased out now, and it's something that we are going to look to, just oust altogether, and we're going to try and get some more consistency from our bottle supply. But it's just something we're working on in the background. And as you've seen from some of the other comments, things are already starting to improve a little bit for some customers, so please just bear with us as we phase out old stock, introduce new stock, and hopefully things will pick up soon. Just bear with us. Gordon Lumsden. Okay, this is a good one. Purchased over £15 and it's free postage. Now it's gone up to £22 at free postage. What will it be next? £30 or even £49? Sorry for any confusion, Gordon. It's not going to be £30 or even £49. That's not what we're doing here. If you actually have a look back through our sort of history, our free shipping has always been at £22. You've been lucky enough to come onto it and find it at 15 because that's actually a promotion we're running. And in fact, if you want the £15 free delivery, that's a promotion we're running right now on site as well. So if you want to take advantage of that, great time to buy. There's a little plug for you. But yeah, once this promotion's over, it will just return to the £22. It's not going to go above that. We haven't got any plans to change that at this stage. And if we did, we'd make sure all of you guys were notified, especially those of you who've got accounts with us. You'll be getting an email and notifications, all that jazz. But no, it's not jumping to 30 or 49. There's no need to panic. It's just going from 22 and then back down again. We've got a couple of questions here on the YouTube side. Facebook, YouTube. Loving the t-shirt. Thank you. We the old one that you might have seen me wearing some of the older videos, unfortunately, that suffered the same fate as a lot of my white t-shirts and ended up a bit stained. I'm sure some of you can relate. But yeah, we've actually managed to order a new one now, so I'm nice and brand official again. I'm still just sort of working it in a little bit, but it's here. You'll have to forgive any creases from my natural rolls that form on the logo. I'm trying to sort of present the brand properly, but you know how it is. Let's see it. Lilith. Hello, Lilith. What are the most popular lines? Just curious. To be honest with you, like the real staple vapes, menthols, tobaccos, particularly our double menthol and our British tobacco, always been super, super popular. I'm pretty sure double menthol is the most popular. Last time I checked, it was outselling everything else by some pretty serious stripes. So like, yeah, double menthol's definitely a top contender. British tobacco is a really strong contender as well. Our blackcurrant and ice is really, really popular too. So if you fancy something a little bit fruity, a little bit cold, that's actually a winner. I love our black ice. It's dead simple, but I like that. I'm not a complicated guy. So yeah, feel free to check those out. We've got some other great ones as well. Strawberry and watermelon is really, really popular. That's actually one that I developed when I was still in the lab, which was pretty cool. Where does strawberry milkshake fall on the curb? Cool. I'm really glad you like it, Lilith. Thanks for that. But yeah, no, the strawberry milkshake. To be honest, that's always been popular, but that's actually been popular for years. I've been here with Liquid for like the best part of 10 years now. And like that has always been a really, really strong seller. Like I think it kind of floats in and out of the top 5, top 10 really, really regularly. And when you consider we've got like 100 flavors, that's pretty good going. So yeah, really glad you like it, Lilith. Yeah, and it's always been a good contender. But yeah, if you do like your strawberry vapes, there's a whole bunch of other ones on there. If you haven't tried them yet, then please do give them a go. Strawberry and watermelon, like I say, that's an absolute banger, and it's really, really popular as well. So yeah, give that one a go. I'd recommend that one as a next stop. Sharon Glossop, you just popped up there. Hello, Sharon. Have you thought of doing a bigger bottle on your most popular Onepoundeliquids? It is something we have thought about. So one thing that I think a lot of people don't necessarily factor in when they sort of say like, oh, you just start doing 100ml bottles and this bottle and that bottle. What we actually have on the production floor, and actually this is a great opportunity for me to sort of tease a little something. So as I mentioned, we're starting the YouTube channel. One of the a little mini series we're going to run on that YouTube channel really soon is going to be inside the factory. Now we're still working on sort of putting all of this together in the background for you guys, but it's actually going to give you a bit of a candid look behind the scenes here at Liquid. So you're actually going to see the machines in action. You're going to see where your liquids are made, the ingredients, this, that, and the other, goods in, goods out. We want you guys to be able to sort of see who we are and what we do end to end, and give you as much transparency as possible. So when we actually get to that, you'll sort of understand and see a little bit more about what I'm going to talk about now. But one of the reasons why it's not necessarily dead easy to just suddenly ramp up a bigger bottle of something is because of the way the production machines are set up. Like, you know, sometimes we'd like to, you know, people have said, why don't we do 100ml bottles instead of the sort of 75 short fills we do? It's because the machine we've got is set up for that size, and it's a lot of work and admin and things involved in sort of kitting things over, especially if we're talking about running efficiently, which is something we obviously want to do in terms of environmental sort of consciousness as well, because we don't want to be running our operations dead inefficiently. In order to make sure we're doing that properly, we need to make sure that we're ahead of the game and we've got things planned out, and running small batches of things isn't really the most efficient way to do it. And with the larger volume stuff, it tends to be smaller batches. So unless we see that real demand, like I said earlier, we have a lot of things to consider before we just start running things willy-nilly. So I hope that kind of helps you understand the kind of thought process we have to have behind the scenes. But again, like I say, I'm with Sharon Lawrence has popped up. I need a gallon of that vanilla custard. We might run a competition where you can win a gallon of vanilla custard at some point in the future. I'm not going to promise that, but you know, if that's the kind of thing you're after, then maybe we could do that. But yeah, like, you know, please bear with us. If you know, like I've said, if we see the demand, we expand our ranges accordingly. So, you know, if you guys keep requesting a specific short fill, we'll start producing specific short fills. If there is, Sharon, a particular £1 10ml flavour that you really love and you don't understand why we don't do it as a short fill, you know, drop us a DM, or, you know, leave a comment on this video, on this post, like another time, and we'll pick it up. And we'll add it to the list. I know that kind of sounds a bit bat-offish, but like, we genuinely will. We tally it all up. Like, you know, this interaction we have with you guys is really valuable to us. Like, you know, we want you guys to feel like you're part of the community here. Like, that's what we want to create. We want you guys to feel like you're being listened to, and that, you know, we're giving you the kinds of products and services that you deserve. So, you know, all of these little things that we talk about here and that I say, like, it's all true and it all happens. Like, you know, we are keeping a record of everything, and we're keeping everything in mind for future ideas, because as we grow and develop the business, we need to do that in line with you guys, our customers, and what we want. So yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna have to apologize here. Technical difficulties. I'm actually running out of battery on one of the laptops. Just gonna have to shuffle a cable over. There we go. Apologies for that. Okie dokie. Let's see what we've got here. A couple more questions popped up. Wendy Dernelly, can we do something about we are doing something about the bottles, Wendy. Sincere apologies. As I've said earlier in the video, it's something we're working on in the background. We're looking to get more consistency from our suppliers and still have that recycled material, but still try to get that squeezability a bit more back in line with what you guys are used to. Please bear with us. It's being worked on. Laura Pickford, I agree. Have to use a small 1ml. Yes. Yeah, no, again, with the bottles, as I've just said, that is what's happening with them. And yeah, Laura, Wendy, and all the rest of you guys that have been struggling, like, I do sincerely apologize for the toughness of the bottles. You're welcome, Sharon, as well. I'm glad that answer's been all right for you, love. But yes, there we go. So, well, let me just double check. We haven't got any more questions in the DMs. No. Okie dokie. Well, that's all the questions from the DMs. I've talked about the YouTube channel. We've had a little mention of April. We've talked about the payment issues some of you guys have been having. So I believe we've reached the end of the road for this Friday's Ask Ollie Live. Thank you so much for all of you that came and have actually been here watching me and sort of putting up with me. Really pleased to see so many of you coming and actually engaging with us. Like, there are no good or bad questions. I'm here to try and be as open and honest with you as I can about what we do and how we're going to try and do things moving forward, and just to try and answer any questions you might have at all. So please do come back again. If you've got any questions in the meantime, send them in the DMs. Watch out for the posts, saying before the next Ask Ollie Live comes up, leave your questions in there. It's great. Those of you who are subscribed to our email service, you'll get an email as well with the same kind of promotion. Anything, any question at all. Doesn't necessarily always have to be about vaping. If you want to just sort of like pick my brain or ask me something weird for a laugh, you're more than welcome to. Like, we like to have fun here. So please, yeah. But no, thank you again. Thank you everyone for coming. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do remember to like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, head over to the YouTube channel soon for some really interesting content, including that Inside the Factory tour that's going to be coming your way in the next couple of months. So yeah, bear with us on that. There'll be some really exciting stuff coming. Take it easy, liquid folk. This is that awkward bit where